Hello everyone, welcome back to 5 Minutes Learning YouTube channel. Let's talk about a staggering number, $20 million lost, every single day. That's nearly £1 million an hour, enough to buy a supercar every 20 minutes. This was Nissan's reality in 2011, not a business school exercise. The company was staring into a financial abyss, threatening its future and the jobs of hundreds of thousands. But this isn't just about money, it's about survival. The heroes? Not spies, but engineers, managers, and factory workers, fighting to save a shattered global business. The stakes, a legendary brand, an entire industry, and countless livelihoods. There was no manual for what Nissan faced. No, what to do when a tsunami wipes out your supply chain. Every decision was critical. Every hour counted. This is the story of how Nissan refused to blink, clawed back from the brink, and emerged stronger. Buckle up. We're diving into chaos, impossible choices, and the strategies that turned disaster into a masterclass in resilience. Forget shiny metal and horsepower. This is about the hidden network that makes everything possible. What happens when that network is pushed to its breaking point? This is how Nissan faced its darkest hour and found a way to turn the lights back on. To grasp Nissan's challenge, you need to understand the scale of the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake, a magnitude 9.0 quake, the most powerful in Japan's history, shifted the island by 8 feet and tilted the earth. The ground shook for 6 minutes, but the real devastation came from a tsunami. Waves over 130 feet high, surging 6 miles inland. Entire towns vanished, over 19,000 lives lost, and hundreds of thousands left homeless. Then, the Fukushima nuclear meltdown triggered evacuations and rolling blackouts. Japan's infrastructure, ports, roads, electricity, was in ruins. Nissan's battlefield, 6 damaged factories, including a key engine plant near Fukushima. But the real crisis was in the supply chain. Over 1,300 parts affected. 57 critical suppliers in the disaster zone. The just-in-time system that made Japanese manufacturing world-class had become its greatest vulnerability. The supply chain wasn't just weakened, it was shattered. This was the chaos Nissan had to navigate to survive. Maybe you're thinking, I don't run a car company. What's this got to do with me? The answer, everything. Every business has a supply chain, whether you call it that or not. It's the web of people, services, and tech you rely on. Your coffee beans, your internet, your power. When one link breaks, your business can grind to a halt, just like Nissan's. The lesson? We're all more interconnected and vulnerable than we think. Modern efficiency means single points of failure everywhere. When things go wrong, the whole system can collapse. Nissan's crisis is a wake-up call. Where are your weak spots? What's your backup plan? It's about being prepared, agile, and resilient, no matter your business. How do you disaster-proof your business? Nissan's experience boils down to 5 pillars. First, understand resilience. It's not about preventing disaster, but absorbing shocks and bouncing back. Second, find your weak spots. Map your entire supply chain, including your supplier's suppliers. Nissan learned a tiny, obscure company could halt global production. Third, smarter supply chain design. Don't rely on a single distant supplier for critical parts. Build in redundancy, even if it costs more. Fourth, build robustness and agility. Have backup plans, safety stock, and alternative sites. Empower teams to act fast. Muscle memory matters in a crisis. Fifth, balance efficiency and resilience. Super efficient systems are brittle. Resilient ones cost more. Find the right balance for your business and keep reassessing. These aren't one-time fixes. They're ongoing strategies. Nissan's pain became a blueprint for survival. The lesson? Resilience is a choice, not an accident. Build it before you need it. When disaster struck, Nissan's own factories seemed manageable, damaged but repairable. The real nightmare was hidden in the supply chain. Nissan had maps of its main suppliers, but little visibility into the smaller, deeper tiers. The ticking time bomb, a single microcontroller from Renesas Electronics, whose factory was devastated. Without it, Nissan couldn't build the electronic brains for their cars, no matter how many other parts they had. This was a textbook single point of failure. Sole sourcing was efficient, until disaster hit. With no redundancy, Nissan faced a production black hole. Daily losses mounted, and a months-long shutdown loomed. In the car industry, that kind of delay can be fatal. Nissan had to act fast. In a crisis, your first moves are everything. Nissan's preparation and leadership made the difference. Within an hour, they activated their Global Disaster Control HQ, a team trained for this moment. Annual disaster drills meant everyone knew their role. The crisis team was cross-functional. Manufacturing, logistics, finance, HR, communications, all in one room. This broke down silos and enabled fast, informed decisions. They dispatched 20 teams to the disaster zone. First, to check on employees and plants. Second, to visit key suppliers. They didn't just call, they showed up, assessed damage, and offered support. Leadership empowered teams to make decisions on the spot, no waiting for corporate approvals. If a supplier needed engineers or equipment, the team leader could approve it. This agility let Nissan move fast, becoming part of the recovery, not just waiting for it. Trust and speed were their secret weapons. That's how they kept hope and production alive. With the damage clear, Nissan had to make tough choices. They focused on their 10 most important models, not all 50+. Resources went to the cars and markets that mattered most, like North America and China. This triage protected their bottom line and market share. Meanwhile, their recovery teams became a support army, helping suppliers with engineers, equipment, even food. Years of engineering common parts across models paid off. If one supplier was down, they could divert parts from another. Technology helped too. Nissan quickly accounted for nearly all employees and mapped out supply chain bottlenecks. Smart prioritization, hands-on support, clever engineering, and tech combined for a rapid comeback. Nissan restarted its first plants in just over a month, a recovery that stunned the industry. It wasn't luck. It was strategy and speed. That's how you turn disaster into a comeback. What can you take from Nissan's story? Resilience isn't luck. It's built step by step before disaster strikes. Make risk management part of your culture. Don't just plan for success. Plan for what could go wrong. Map your dependencies, not just direct suppliers. Find your hidden vulnerabilities. Move away from sole sourcing for critical parts. 2 suppliers in different regions is insurance, not waste. Empower your people. Have a clear crisis plan and practice it. Drills build muscle memory, so your team acts, not freezes. Trust those on the ground to make decisions fast. Micromanagement kills agility. Rethink inventory. Just-in-time is efficient, but brittle. Hold a safety buffer of critical supplies. It buys you time when disaster hits. By mapping risks, diversifying suppliers, training teams, and protecting inventory, you build a business that can survive and thrive through crisis. That's the ultimate lesson from Nissan's 20 million a day question. Build resilience now, before you need it.